Only the Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner cartoons can accurately depict the Democrats and media's never-ending schemes and lies in their quest to destroy President Trump. One would think after so many talking points, Democrats would try a different resource for their next talking point fix. No, they won't, because it's only lose, lose, and lose for Democrats since President Trump took office. It's truly shameful to watch adults openly expose insane juvenile temper tantrums and promote lies destroying their families, friends, and careers. Meanwhile, like the Roadrunner, President Trump gets stronger and stronger as he taunts the Democrats into making even more foolish decisions. One must question whether Donald Trump is really that smart or are Democrats that stupid. I'll go for the stupid. Just consider this latest talking point about slavery in 1619. How stupid is this? When Democrats are challenged about slavery in America today, they laugh as if it's funny. Please inspect the Democrat Party's attitudes about slavery from their leaders, such as Senator KKK Robert Byrd and Senator John C. Calhoun, along with other Democratic parties, and once again, we easily see the Wile E. Coyote explode. Democrats and their, we'll call them parasites. The parasite media involved in revisionistic history deny reality and preference to lies, suggesting that the British were demanding an end to slavery in America. However, bigoted white Americans fought for America's independence based solely upon their lust for slavery. This is a false narrative and leads to their new lie talking point about slavery in 1619. Democrats push this false narrative. History confirms a different set of facts. We know the Democratic Party demanded slavery up until the 1960s. Republicans finally won the battle in Congress against Democrats to pass legislation for black voting rights. We must also ask if any person would deny it was President Abraham Lincoln, a Republican, that signed the Emancipation Declaration. Such inconvenient truths destroy the attempts by Democrats to rewrite American history. Just like today's Antifa arm of the Democratic Party, they use their KKK arm to threaten Republicans and blacks to retain their political power and keep blacks in liberty from freedom. For Democrats, the 2020 election is about restricting liberty and freedom from all Americans, not just blacks. That's why the primary foundation of the Democratic Party is racism. By using this word, they end debates and successfully segregate people by race. When that happens, then one can conquer many. Think about it. How can anyone keep up with the failed talking points used by the Democrats? Last week it was gun control, and libs rallied into the public arena to protest guns. Unfortunately, guns failed to show up under counter-protest. I guess maybe because they slept in, because we know from Democrats, guns have a mind of their own, right? Now, the Democrats tell us to forget guns, Russia, impeachment, racism, Stormy, and whatever else that we are doing, because we now have to mobilize people to protest slavery. But in 1619, really? How do we do that in 2019? Is everyone supposed to act like Republicans? That means shutting up and becoming obedient, even though this talking point ranks as the most insane idea ever. Doesn't this confirm that the Democrats have gone totally insane? Is there any hope remaining to treat them and get them back into the real world? It's been obvious from the beginning of the Trump campaign kickoff that something within the Democratic Party really stunk to high heaven. For 40 years before the Trump presidential kickoff campaign, every Democrat on their top leader list was in and out of his offices with hands out, praising him and posting pictures of their visits. And then suddenly the game plan becomes a media destruction by blaming Trump for everything wrong in America. How does this work? Does anyone believe that people will blame him for slavery in 1619? Regardless of what sort of person turns their back on a friend, well, the only people I know that throws friends under a bus are Democrats. Furthermore, we know the Democrat talking points change as frequently as people change clothes. So what will the next talking point be? How long do they plan to run with this talking point, because it won't last much longer than tomorrow? Just imagine if the Democrats really wanted to address slavery in 2019. If so, Democrats would be real heroes and get 100% support from the Republicans and the voters across America. The only problem is Democrats are not really interested in addressing slavery. Look, with Democrats, it's always going to be about raising money and gaining power. Remember that before the funerals even were concluded, Democrats were raising money from the mass shooting murders. No, they have no shame, and it's all talk and no walk when it comes to Democrat proposals. Yes, they can see the tragic happenings on U.S. southern border, but they turn their backs on reality and falsely blame the problems on President Trump, just to raise money. From within FBI files, there are many scenarios of slavery in America to make our case. No, not even one of their many cases accuses or links President Trump to crimes. Human trafficking is a form of modern-day slavery, not from 1619, but now in the real world. Would our time be better spent trying to shame slavery in 1619 or spend time doing something about today's slavery? Today in America, we have women and children smuggled across our southern border. Rather than finding freedom and liberty that they have dreamed about, they are met by criminals and held against their will. They are then forced to work for little or nothing during the day, performing domestic labor and used in pornographic movies, and then prostituted at night where they are raped and brutalized. All the while, their families are being extorted even for more money. President Trump reaches out daily to Democrats, begging them to meet with Republicans for 30 minutes to change U.S. laws. So these scenarios are ended. Instead, Democrats continue to blame President Trump and raise money. The challenge we must now put forth to Democrats is, before resolving slavery issues in the 1619s, will they commit to resolving the issue in 2019? It is sad that Americans learn nothing about American history, or they would all understand these powerful words. Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what the course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death. Patrick Henry. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that is my take. A little housekeeping to take care of. As many of you know, I took this on full-time last week, actually a little over a week ago. And although content will always be free, I've been very blessed with 4 amazing children and a beautiful wife that I need to provide for. I decided to make the merchandise, which is now ready, about God and country, not about this channel or myself. The idea for 316 Exposure in the beginning was to touch hearts and change minds of the lost, and it will always be that way. Not about making money. However, if you wish to support our channel and or our cause, we have both our merchandise and Patreon available. As far as future plans, we will start doing live shows and merchandise giveaways as well. I'm pretty excited about that. I received a heartwarming message from one of our subscribers this morning. This has been my personal message from day one, to reach into the darkest depths of the difficult places, and as Eric said, where few would dare to travel. I want to take a minute and personally thank each and every one of you for every minute you've listened, for every message you have shared. I truly cannot do it without you. The battles are short, but the war is long. So again, thanks for taking the ride with me, and until next time, God bless you and your families. Thank you.